Have you ever been searching for flights and seen some prices that seem a little too good to be true? Maybe you are asking yourself, I wonder what kind of hoops they make you jump through for that ticket. Well, I'm here today to answer just that. Here are some quick do's and don'ts that will help you better understand just what you need to be able to take full advantage of those ultra budget flights. First up, the do's. Number one, do purchase your own personal item bag from either Amazon or whatever your favorite retailer is that is sized to fit the personal item dimensions listed on the Airlines website. This information is super easy to find. It will be on any page associated with purchasing baggage or with more information in terms of carry-ons or checked baggage. On Amazon, with a quick search including personal item or bag, plus the name of the airline you're flying, say Spirit or Frontier, you'll see hundreds of options come up with different designs and colorways. You'll be able to find one you like, and you'll find that the price of these bags is roughly half the cost of what they would charge you to bring your own bag. That is, an existing backpack that you may or may not be sure fits in the personal item bin. One recommendation I do have for the personal item bag is that it should have some type of cinching straps that will be able to make the bag as thin as possible so that it slides into the does it fit bin with no assistance from you. Number two, do check ahead of time that your personal item bag or carry-on bag, if you paid for one, fits inside of the does it fit bin. Now, these bins are super easy to find. They're all over the terminal at each of the gates that this airline operates out of. What I like to do is find one that's empty, maybe has a flight coming in later or one just left, and not many people are around, and you can go up to this bin and try to put your bag in it. Now, when doing this, make sure that it slides into either the carry-on or the personal item bag, depending on which one you're checking, with no assistance from you. That is, you hover over the top, you drop it in, and it goes all the way in with no pushing or squeezing of any kind. If you find that your bag doesn't fit, you can pull it out, rearrange your packing, maybe put on a few shirts or sweatshirts and put it back in to see if it fits. Now, I highly recommend you do this before you board, because boarding process with a lot of these budget airlines is fairly similar and can be pretty high pressure. Typically, and this is from personal experience, every time that I fly one of these airlines, I find they line up the economy passengers in single file and make each person put their bag in the does it fit bin one at a time. Now, if your bag doesn't perfectly slide in with no pushing or squeezing from you, they're going to say, "That's oversized, please step out of line and go pay $100 at the gate." Now, you also might be thinking, why would the gate agent roast me this hard? They get commission on every bag that they catch that is oversized. That's their incentive to make sure that they're really nailing you on the size of this personal item and or carry-on. Number three, when buying your tickets, if you're flying with a companion, make sure you book your tickets together in the same booking, not separately at the same time, but in one purchase. This is because the computer system will most likely sit you next to each other, and this is a way to avoid paying the additional seat selection fee that sometimes can be as much as the ticket already costs. Now, if you do buy both tickets in the same purchase and you find out when your seat does get assigned in an email a couple days before your flight takes off that you aren't sitting next to each other, I personally have seen time and time again individuals come on the plane and ask the flight attendants if they can rearrange some seats and let you sit next to your travel party. I have never heard a flight attendant deny someone this. Usually they'll say it's an oversold flight or the flight's really busy, we need to wait and see until more people get on, and then I'll try and find something that works. You can also always bargain with the person next to you. Maybe you have a window seat and they want it, or an aisle seat and they want it. You can find a way to trade to end up sitting next to your travel companion on the flight without paying that additional 30 or 40 or even 50 bucks. Now the don'ts. Number one, don't think you can bring a carry-on without paying and just sneak past the gate agents. Like I said earlier, these gate agents get commission for every bag they find either doesn't fit in the size and shape bin, or when you scan your boarding pass, it will notify them that you haven't paid for a carry-on. Number two, don't think you can use any backpack for your personal item. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, they are super stingy on the size and dimensions of this personal item. For Frontier and Spirit, the personal item dimensions from their website are exactly the same. It's 14 inches tall, 18 inches wide, and 8 inches deep. Now that includes handles and wheels. So if you have a personal item that has big handles, big straps, or even wheels of some kind, that has to fit inside this bin. No pushing, no squeezing, slides right in. Now your average backpack that isn't tailored to these dimensions or tailored for personal item flying or air travel, more often than not is going to be pretty big compared to these dimensions. A standard backpack you may buy, like a JanSport or a Nike or Dakine, will almost certainly be too big if it's filled to the brim to fit in this bin. Now remember, even if it isn't filled to the brim, you can't push or squeeze. So if the backpack is full halfway, still has a bunch of room in it, but you go to set it in the bin and it's too big and folds over the side, or all the straps catch up and it won't fall in, this is something they technically could pull you out of line for and charge you that $100 fee. For don't number 3, I'm gonna say don't spend the money for an upgraded seat. Now, set aside what I said earlier about trying to make sure that you can sit next to your travel companion and paying extra to get 2 seats next to each other. But this is particularly talking about just you flying alone and you want to sit in a comfier seat than the general economy class. Now, for Frontier, these seats are absolutely not worth the upcharge. Only the first 3 rows of their Airbus A320s have these premium seats, and all the premium is a slightly more padded leather covering on the same old plastic seat that everyone in economy gets. And you'll see when you get on one of these planes that these seats are not designed for comfort. So there you go, my 3 do's and don'ts to make sure that you can fly on these ultra budget airlines without any hassle or unexpected fees. Hopefully this information gives you a little bit more confidence to go ahead and purchase those too good to be true flights that you see pop up from time to time. I personally highly recommend that you do fly these airlines because it allows you to go travel to destinations for a fraction of the cost that it typically would. And usually airfare is the biggest barrier of entry for anyone trying to travel, get out and see new things and have new experiences. So this is a great way to make that an affordable option or a possibility for a lot of you out there. Just remember that flying these ultra budget airlines are only worth it if you jump through these hoops and you can actually get away with flying from point A to point B at these incredibly low fares that you see pop up when searching for your flight. And in order to do so, I highly recommend you follow these 3 do's and don'ts. For more travel info, whether it be flying, trains, driving, exploring different cities in the US or international, feel free to check out our Instagram and TikTok at DinksAround. Thanks for watching today's video. I truly appreciate it, and I hope this information helps you out in the future.